Hi guys, this Jetboil is my go-to cook system for basic camping, and I've had it for a number of years now, and it's a fantastic bit of kit. Just to show you, you've got your burner in the top, gas bottle that fits in, and obviously your cook system. It's vented on the top so that you can let things boil away. I mean, the whole idea is a jet boil. It just boils very quickly. The bottom part there screws onto the burner, and these fins help to get that burning rapidly. But also the bottom protector part doubles up as a cup. So, albeit I've had other cook systems and used pans with this, that allows you to go away and do a complete meal and drink while camping. Great kit, not going to get rid of it, we'll continue to use it, but I want something that's a lot lighter and smaller for when I start to do my travelling. And with that in mind, I bought a very lightweight Lixada brand cook pot. Now, I haven't seen this before, although I've seen YouTube videos of it, but it comes in quite a nice strong box, just less chance of getting damaged. It seems to be packed quite well, and it comes in a little bag with a drawstring. That bag obviously will help to stop it rattling about a bit, and it'll keep it in one place. The bag's big enough to put extra things in there. Quite often I'll have a small tea towel wrapped around the Jetboil, and I would probably duplicate that with this. So, the other thing to mention about the bag is it's double skinned. And what I've seen other people doing with this is when the pot is on your burner or a fire, obviously it's going to get a bit warm, and people use this as a little mitt to actually get hold of the mug, pot, remove it from the heat source. So that's a handy little thing. So this is the pot, has the two handles which swing around and form a holder, or if you want to, use it as a cup. It has a lid, and that lid has a little tab on the top that when you move it in a certain position, it locks it in place. Now, I think, yeah, there's a bit of movement that way, but it won't go all the way down. So it locks it in place. It won't, as the thing's being moved, rattling about with the bubbling of water, that will stay in place. Also, it has venting, so that it'll vent as you're boiling your water. It's got, you probably can't make this out too well, but on the inside it's got markings in fluid ounces and milliliter. You might see imprinted there, but actually it's showing it on the inside. And although it's a 750 milliliter pot, the fill line is 500 milliliters. So your fill line is about there, which makes sense because if you have it to the top, it'll actually just come straight over. But the contents from a point of view of boiling would be 500 milliliters, not 750 milliliters. The pot itself will probably hold 750 milliliters, but you'd never be able to boil the water. So 500 milliliters, and that would be a lot for cooking. But for doing pasta or anything, you know, pretty simple, you could do that in this pot. Just out of interest, I know this for a fact because I've measured it, the Jetboil, although obviously a bigger unit, the Jetboil fill line, which is probably about there, so about that much, not dissimilar. The fill line is 500 milliliters. So I regularly use this for, obviously for hot drinks, but I also use it for doing pasta, and I can have quite a decent pasta meal with that 500, maybe a fraction more, up to about 550, maybe even 600 millilitres get away with, especially when it's just bubbling, in that pot. So actually the fill lines on both pots are identical. One of the things I've sort of read about these, because there's different manufacturers, make different companies, I think, brand them, because I think they're all pretty much the same. What I've seen is that sometimes the lids can be quite loose, but just as a demonstration, that's just pushed on, and I'm holding it by its little tab at the top. So for this one, and it might just be the Lixada, but for this one, the lid fits quite well. Now, the stated weight of this one is 128 grams. So this pot, as you see it in front of us, weighs 128 grams. The Jetboil, that weighs, with the gas bottle in and the burner as you've seen, that weighs round about the 700 gram mark. 680, 700 grams, and that's 128 grams, so substantially lighter. But of course there's no gas bottle in this one. So what I want to do, just as a demonstration, is put the gas bottle in, see if it'll fit. I'm confident it will fit. And so this is just one of the small, I only ever use these small ones, you know, from a point of view of carrying them, but they're what are these? 110 gram. So that's a 110 gram canister. And what I'm going to do is, quite often with pots, these work, because I had a Coleman one once, and that worked best with it going upside down. So it's got its safety cap on. I'm going to pop it in upside down. And then to mimic the Jetboil, so we're looking at like for like, I'm going to use this little folding cup. It's Swedish design and it's called Fold a Cup. 3 words, Fold a Cup. You might have seen these. If you haven't, they're quite small, compact, quite clever. You just pull them out from within themselves. You've got a tab to hold. And also there's ribbing on the side here that just keeps that direct heat slightly off your finger. And there you've got a very basic cup. So I'm going to fold that back down, and that's going to go into the pot. I know it's going to fit because of the size and the canister size. So that's going to fit in there, and I'm going to use my pocket rocket, MSR pocket rocket. So that's my little burner, and that, actually, I had this on another slightly larger pot, similar sized pot to this one actually, where it fitted in quite well by tucking that into the cup. Just get it the right way around. So the pocket rocket sits quite nicely in there, and then just drop it in, and then put the lid on, and that's a perfect fit. So what we've got now is, with the Lixada pot, we've got a gas bottle in, we've got a burner in, we've got a cup in, and the only difference then would be that this has a self-igniter. With this one you have to light with a match or a little spark of some description. So I think, I don't know whether this will fit in, but to be honest, if it doesn't, then you just carry that separately for the sake of the size of it. And I always keep a cigarette lighter in my day pack, which is basically a tank bag. So with the matches, it doesn't quite, but it's a box of matches. I just wouldn't take that. But I know for a fact I'll be able to get something in there, even if it's matches in a little bag just with the striker, or actually a little cigarette lighter would go in there quite easily, like a big type. So just putting that to one side then, because the sake of the weight of matches is going to be negligible. What we've got is a comparison now between the two pots. So straight away, you can see that the Lixada is about 2/3 of the size of the Jetboil in terms of height. In terms of diameter, I would say it's marginally smaller than the Jetboil, but not a lot. So very similar to the Jetboil. And then really it's now just about seeing what the weight difference is. So to weigh the two pots, I've got these little scales, and I'm going to weigh the Jetboil first. Now, it's just occurred to me that the Jetboil, the gas canister in there is half used, whereas the one that I've put into the Lixada is full. So there's a slight difference in weight there, but it's obviously not much. So that's 640 grams. So your Jetboil, 640 grams. And the Lixada, well, the stated weight is 128 grams of the pot itself. And that's 440 grams. So that's about 200 grams difference. There or thereabouts, taking into account the canister. If you just said around about the 200 grams mark, difference in weight. Now that's not a huge amount of weight, but if you're backpacking, ultralight backpacking, or if you're long-term travelling, and you want to travel very lightly and compactly, then that certainly does the job. The proof will be in the use of this to see how it performs. I've no reason to doubt it won't work. It's a good burner in there, and the pot itself, well, it's a pot, isn't it, at the end of the day, but I'll do a further review when I actually use the pot in anger. As I say, I won't discard the Jetboil, I'll use that depending on circumstance, but this will be the pot that I'm hoping to be my travel kit. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions, give me a shout. I will post up another video when I've used it, just to give an update on that, but I'm pleased with what I've seen so far. Thanks for watching.